Of the Social Club of Bleeders Digest. I'm Steven, and we're focused on, of course, Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month, right? I have a very exciting guest with us, guys and gals, audience. We have Juan Pablo here. Now, how's it going, brother?
It's going great, man. Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here, man. An honor. This is truly special, man. Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's great to have you. And on a note that we're literally hyping things off for Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month, it's great to have you here, especially representing hemophilia this week as a premiere.
Oh, man, appreciate you. Thank you, man. It's super exciting, man. Again, I saw you guys' last episode with Adrian. It was awesome, and I'm just super excited to be here and representing the hemophiliacs.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. I know a little bit about you. I could say, over the years and stuff, but go ahead and talk a little bit about who Pablo is. Share some things they may not know about you to the audience out here.
Yeah, man. So my name is Juan Pablo Lopez Padilla, but I like to go by Pablo. And I'm 26 years old. I have my beautiful wife and daughter, and I have a 1-year-old dog as well.
Let me tell you, she is beautiful. She is beautiful. I got to hold her, man, and it reminded me of my daughter at that age, man. And so happy for you, brother.
Nice,
Congrats.
man. That's so good. And then I love hearing that, man, because then I see Yulissa, right? And
yeah.
I see her, and then she's so big, man, and she just had her quince, and then it's crazy how time flies, man.
Isn't it?
Yeah, man, it really is. So I've definitely, it's been awesome, being a father, being a husband, and then being a dog parent. It's been awesome, man. And just a regular 26-year-old living in Phoenix, man.
Yeah.
I love all sports, football, basketball, the Patriots, the Celtics, the Red Sox.
Hey, my guy.
Yeah, the Bruins, New England Revolution, anything over there, Boston,
Yeah.
I'm all for, man. And I absolutely love the camaraderie of sports, and so
Absolutely.
I love watching them. I'm a big gamer. I love video games. I love anime. I love watching
Nice.
anime. I know our buddy Adrian's a avid anime watcher as well.
Yeah.
But I really do like it, man, and it gives me a lot of energy. Like video games gets my heart going, my adrenaline pumping.
Nice.
And same thing with anime, man. I feel like I get the same thing where I get, you get this emotion that you don't really get in other situations, just being in everyday life. So
what's your go-to game and anime series? Now we're talking about it. You gotta tell me.
Absolutely. So, well, right now I've been really, really obsessed with Arc Raiders. That's been the main game that I've been playing, and because there's tons of stuff to do there, and my brother, my cousins, and my friends, everyone's playing it. So that's the one that everyone's on right now. And then for anime, I'm huge. It's always Naruto or One Piece, but they're both my favorite.
Nice.
I grew up with Naruto, but then now watching One Piece and continuing One Piece, it goes up there with the favorite as well. But
Nice.
it's always a tie between those two, man. They're so good. But and that's what I like spending my time doing, man. And I get to walk my dog every day.
Hey.
It's just awesome. It helps me get some exercise too.
Shout out to the dogs, right?
Yeah,
they give us that energy.
Yeah, absolutely. Zorro. Shout out to his name. His name is Zorro.
Yeah. What kind of dog?
He's a sheepdog. So he's big, man. He's getting pretty big. He's one. So he's roughly in between 50 to 70 pounds. I can't say exactly, but yeah, man, he's growing fast, and he's so energetic, man. So much energy. I try to walk him. I play with him every day, or as much as I can. Even when I'm playing video games, man, I'll play. He'll bring his toy to me, and I'll kick it and stuff. I try, but he has a lot of energy, man. But it's cool, man. That's what we spend most of our time doing.
That's good, man. Hey, that's awesome, man. Thank you for being here and telling us a little bit more about you. Get to know you a little bit better.
Severe.
Yeah.
So and hemophilia A is missing factor 8. So just one of the factors that from the 13 that prevents the blood to clotting normally.
Yeah.
And hemophilia B, that's factor 9. So very similar, just two different factors that's the factor, the protein that we're missing for our infusion. So if you're hemophilia A, you take factor 8. If you're hemophilia B, you take factor 9. So the 13 clotting factors, we're missing one of the factors, so our blood's not able to clot properly. And depending whether you're a mild, moderate, or severe is depending on how often you have to infuse.
Yeah.
So me being a severe, I infuse once every 4 to 5 days. And that's a lot better than what I used to do. I used to do every other day. So like one day
gonna
yes.
ask you how it was back then.
Yeah, one day yes, one day no. One day yes, one day no. And I got pretty tired of that pretty quickly. And and then and I struggled with that, man. Like kind of it was tough, I had to do it, from a very young age and stuff. So, but it's very interesting how that just works. That one clotting factor just affects the entire clotting how it works. So,
well, talk a little bit about that. Let's talk a little bit about the struggles. I know you mentioned that, so tell me how you dealt with it and how you kind of overcome some of those struggles that you were having.
Yeah. So I think a lot of it comes too with the people around you.
Yeah.
My family, them, my dad, my mom, my brother, they're all super, super headstrong. They all put their best foot forward and they all have a really good attitude about things.
Shout out to La Familia, by the way.
Yes,
Shout out to them.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, they're everything. And without them, man, I think it would have been really tough for me to be able to like get this change of lifestyle. Cause like as a kid growing up, they're telling you one thing, but you want to do something else. So like, it's kind of really hard to kind of take that advice kind of young and early on. But my dad, he was a cop in Mexico. So, and it was up to him to, like, hey, you need to infuse your son. And then, you got to make sure everything with him is good, that he takes care of all that. So like, it was really in a sense of like my dad, noticing how my dad prioritized it, how he saw it like, hey, no, this is your life. This is your livelihood. Like, we have to make sure this is taken care of first, and then we can, worry about the rest. But growing up with that, it was difficult at first, and there's times where it can get harder than others. But it really is just about perspective, man, and attitude. Because it's kind of hard, but we really have to try to remain as positive as possible. Everyone gets dealt a different hand, and it just really depends on what you do with it. But I think we are all like every hemophilia, bro. I think that we are all something special, man. Like it just really, really depends how you view things. Cause like, I was born in Mexico. And hemophilia in Mexico isn't really seen good at all. When I was born with it, the doctors in Mexico had told my parents that I had 13 years to live. They said that the life expectancy for bleeding disorders here in Mexico, especially for severe hemophilia like myself, was 13 years old.
Wow.
And that completely stunned my parents, and that completely it's like a deer in headlights, you really don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So that's how they kind of they went about my entire life with that same kind of like the parents told them like, hey, he's gonna be in a room full of bubble wrap. He's gonna have elbow pads, knee pads, and a helmet. Like he's not gonna be socializing with his cousins. Like this is gonna be his lifestyle. Yeah. And that's the type of like life that the doctors have put in my parents' head. So it's kind of it's difficult to kind of like blame or be mad to the parents for being overprotective when like that's the only type of world that they were shown. Yeah. So it's tough, man, and how we ended up coming over here and everything that's a whole other thing that's pretty special. But yeah, just kind of growing up, I decided to just make the best out of it, man. Yeah. I really did. I could have, it's easy for someone to be, mad and angry about the situation, like because it's a genetic disease, or it's a genetic disorder, bleeding disorder. But I was born with it through a spontaneous mutation. Okay. My mom wasn't a carrier, and no one in my extended family like whatsoever had ever had it. So I'm the first one in my entire family or generations that have it. So it left me, with a lot of questions in terms of like, why me and stuff. But I get so many times where my dad has like told me like son, thank you. Like if it wasn't for your hemophilia and if it wasn't for you being able to manage this, he said that, who knows what would have happened in Mexico? The life in Mexico is very scary. And my dad being a cop, like he was in a bunch of shootouts. He has wounds, bullet wounds in his shin and different parts of his body, just because that's what the job entailed. Yeah. So, he thanks me, and then it's hard for me to kind of be like, I didn't do anything. I was just born. Yeah. But like people see it as like, why did I get this hemophilia? It doesn't make any sense to me. But it's just about, it's a blessing in disguise. You gotta turn that around, and like that's the reason we're here in the United States. That's the reason my entire family's here. And we're happy, man. I think we're thriving, and we're able to, we've been doing the things that we've been set out to.
Awesome.
My parents have become business owners of some very delicious flour tortillas.
Yes, let me tell you, they are very delicious.
Oh man,
make sure drop the name if you want.
Tortilleria Lupita. That's my mom's name. It's on 43rd Ave and Rozier.
Make sure you check it out, guys. It's really tasty. Let me tell you.
Roosevelt. I apologize. 43rd Ave and Roosevelt. But yeah, it's right next to a gas station right there, AM PM. But yeah, like, and let me tell you, man, it screwed me up because now, like, I don't like tortillas from anywhere else. So going to restaurants and like, my wife hates it. I'm so picky. I'm so picky with them now because like I've only grown up with my mom's tortillas. And they're the best flour tortillas in my perspective. So
that's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, man. So like seeing my family, achieve a dream, being business owners,
How was that for you? To see that all established?
Man, dude, it's everything. I mean, it's such a blessing to be able to see it. All these things fall into line,
Yeah.
I think I still, there's times where I feel guilty. They haven't seen family in who knows how long, and they haven't had the opportunity to go back home like many people do. It's been 25 years. That's a long time for anyone. That's that's a quarter of a century, man. That they haven't been back in their home soil. So, but just seeing them being able to accomplish something like that, like business owners and dude, they have so many restaurant chains and so many different restaurants here in the valley that they're supplying, and it's so cool that my mom's tortillas are in restaurants now, man. And that's such a blessing, man.
That's such amazing. I didn't know that. That's amazing. And I don't doubt it because they are so tasty.
Dude, it's awesome, man. And yeah, so it's so cool seeing that come to realization. And my brother, it's so cool seeing him get involved too.
How are they doing?
He's awesome, man. My three brothers they're doing great, man, and they're all getting so big, and it's so cool because like I'm the only one with hemophilia, so I get to live a lot of my I live vicariously through them. Like, I really do because my older brother he played football in high school, and he always included me in everything he could.
That's awesome.
And my little brothers, my Miguel, when he was playing football in high school, he would I would take his videos for him. I would record all his plays and make sure that he had a highlight reel for college if he ever needed
awesome.
it. And then the same thing with my little brother Jose. Every time that he plays basketball or anything, that I like to be there for them, and I like to be as present as possible. Because
it sounds like they were really supportive, which is awesome.
100%, man. And like anything that I feel like I couldn't do, they made sure that they helped me in that aspect, or made sure just to give me the support I needed.
Yeah. What other roles? I know you mentioned a little bit, but what other roles did they play within your whole hemophilia diagnosis and just being able to kind of get you through it too?
So they were my foundation, man. Because like as a hemophiliac, you feel a little bit like lost. You can't really connect with everyone. And when we go to things like camp, or we go to things like the meetings, we get to see other hemophiliacs, but that's only when we go to those things.
Yeah.
Like, we're not with hemophiliacs throughout our everyday life.
Yeah.
But they did a great job of filling that space, man. Like anytime I would infuse, my little brother Jose, he would always be so curious and come up to me and watch me infuse, and he would love to like just watch the process. And to me, it was so like, it was cool. And then one time, and then he goes to the hospital, and as soon as he goes to the hospital, he's putting like his arm up, like wanting a shot.
That's awesome.
And so he's not scared of needles anymore. And I think that's fascinating that I mean, he doesn't have hemophilia, but
you gave him that.
Yeah,
right?
at least there's something that I was able to help him in. And because fear of needles is one of the biggest fears in the world, man, believe it or not. So it's just super cool to see that I'm still able to at least help them in some way as well, and they're always asking me my advice in terms of sports, because I'm just a sport guy, that's my thing. I just love all kinds of sports, man. And so it's just really cool how they include me in that aspect. And it's just super cool, man. And my parents too, always asking me questions and very curious about, my interests and my likes and the stuff that, that keeps me going. Our family's pretty busy in terms of, just always working, always needing, to provide for the family and stuff like that. But we've made sure to, to always be there for each other and, in whatever aspect that we need. So
that's great.
But they're awesome, man. They're definitely everything. And my wife, she's been so supportive through throughout my, journey with her. I mean, we're about to turn 5 years at the end of this month. 5 years together.
Congratulations,
thank you,
my man.
Thank you. Yeah, 5 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it really is, man. 5 years is a long time, man.
It is.
We're about to do. Oh, we're going to dinner at Daytime Fun. I think that's the name.
Oh, okay.
It's like this restaurant that's from Cali. It came recently to Scottsdale.
I think I heard of it.
Yeah. So we got reservations for there next week. So
nice.
We're pretty excited. But but yeah, man, she has been awesome, and because it's hard as a man to tell your significant other about that.
I was just gonna ask you about that. So how did that go when you first told her about hemophilia, and how were your feelings? Like, how did that happen?
Man, like you're nervous because to a lot of people that could be a deal breaker, bro.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, it could be something where like, oh, like that's something that I'm sorry, but I don't think that I can go forward to. I don't kind of want to deal with that and moving forward.
Yeah.
So that's a real like thought that you have, and kind of scared of what the reaction is gonna be. It kind of feels like it's gonna take. You don't know. I think I was more scared to tell her that than I was to propose to her, because at least when you're proposing, you kind of feel like an inkling, like okay, she should say yes, but no. So that's my thing. So like, but this is completely different.
Yeah.
So. But man, like it really matters, like who you with, man. Like people, like your partner matters, and I definitely do believe I chose my best friend, and
that's awesome.
And she's just been so great about it, man. Like just curious, but in the right way, and not too careful, because she knows how it is when people are too careful with you growing up. So she does everything the right way, and she reminds me when she needs to. And she's great. So she's also scared of needles, but we're working on that. And
hey, there you go.
Yeah, we'll push through that, and we still have. But man, it really matters. Choosing the right people in your life, man, because that conversation can go a completely other way. But it's about again trusting your partner, making sure you're at that right spot. But also you don't want to wait too long, in case that does happen, where it is a deal breaker for that person, where you didn't spend a ridiculous amount of time with her. So. But yeah, man, it's tough. It is scary. It was scary. But again, I was just in a position where I asked, the right person, and she, she reacted the way that I guess didn't expect, because she was curious, and she was like, oh, that's no biggie at all. I mean, that sounds just fine to me. I mean, we won't even, all that stuff is things that we deal with in the future. And then we talked about too, like the advancements, and we just had an honest conversation about it. And
that's awesome.
And so we felt a lot comfortable too, but now that we have our daughter and stuff, knowing that she's a possible carrier, but with the advancements already in my time, who knows what the advances of her time.
What are they going to look like?
Exactly.
Things are going to look a lot better.
Absolutely.
Would you agree that things are looking better than they were?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I was infusing every other day, and now I'm infusing once every 4 to 5 days. That is huge, man.
It has to be. Huge. Because I feel like throughout the day, right, you have your routine, you have your things that you want to get accomplished, right? And then, here, I have to infuse. I have to, get out the factor.
Yep, exactly, man. Exactly. So it really is important, man. And I'm grateful for an awesome partner and a great situation that I was able to be in for that, to disclose that. Because, it is scary, man. 100%.
And to talk a little bit more about, family and about support, like who's been your anchor, like throughout this whole process, like, and as you're younger, maybe up to now, like who's been there for you, to say, hey, like when you have that least bit of energy to kind of help you push forward too?
I have a couple, like, I see it differently, like, cause I get, like, I see my dad and my brother, like those are the two that whatever I am going through, I go to them. Like I need their reassurance. I need just to speak to them, just to hear their perspective. They're my two that I absolutely, they have my full respect, and I love like hearing their perspective, just because a lot of the times we think the same.
Yeah.
But like sometimes, when I do have, more, hemophilia questions, sometimes I need because they don't have, and that's not their fault.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. And that would be my buddy Gio. That's my daughter's godfather.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Gio would be definitely someone that, like, anything happens, I usually, I can give them a call and be like, hey man, I'm going through this in terms of, my condition. Like, what do you, and it's crazy because we're very similar. Like he has hemophilia A severe, and then he also has a daughter, and he hasn't got her tested for hemophilia yet. And so I take a lot of his advice, man. And I'm anytime I'm going through something with my daughter, I reach out to him, just because he literally just went through it, and he doesn't know if she's a carrier or not. So like the same thing, we're going through that kind of same process. And so that's someone who I genuinely I can reach out to him. I trust him, and he's the godfather of my daughter, so I trust him enough to where, if anything were to happen to me and my wife, they know that he would be there for our daughter. So,
you gotta have that support team right around you. I feel like you gotta have that whole group, because I feel like, we go through our ins and outs, right? But to be able to have those people we can easily reach out to, and is huge.
Absolutely,
in any situation like that. No, that's awesome.
And like you mentioned, like the support team, bro. So like it's like guy stuff, car stuff, like anything I need, I call my parent, I call my dad, call my brother, hemophilia stuff. I got Jill and stuff like that. But like I mentioned before, like my wife is truly my best friend, and I really do, go to everything to her, and she helps me with everything, and she's great, man. She does remind me sometimes to take my medicine.
Shout out to the wifey. Shout out to the wives out there, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So she really is everything at home, kind of keeping it, holding it down at home. So like you said, man, it takes a whole team, and I'm really grateful for everyone in my life who helps me and who's always there to answer my call whenever I call them.
Absolutely. And let's take you back to like the first time you're able to administer Factor by yourself. Like, how was that? Like, man, how did that go?
That is crazy, man. Cause that's like, to me, like as a hemophiliac, that's like, how do I explain that in other terms? Like, that's when you learn to infuse. That's the biggest transition in the life of a hemophiliac. Like, when I learned to infuse, like my dad said, whenever you learn to do this, you can go spend the night at your cousin's house. Like, you can go do this, you can go do that, because I can trust you that you can do it to yourself in case anything happens. Mm-hmm. So I didn't understand it as a kid. Like, we live in a city. If anything were to happen to me, Dad, you can just come to me. Like, I'm not across the world. You know what I mean? So, but I was now like thinking back to that. Like, he could have always just went. But like, and I took that serious. So I went going to camp my very first time. That's when I set that goal. I was like, I want to come back knowing how to infuse. I know that's why kids go to camp. I was like, I know they go there to learn how to infuse, so I'm not coming back home without learning how to infuse.
That's awesome.
So I went.
You put down your goal.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Got to. And so I went at the age of 7 years old, man. At the age of 7 years old. And I go to camp. It's 8 years old now. They didn't change it because of me, I swear. But it's 8 years old now. But I went when I was 7. And I just remember that was the only thing I was looking forward to all week. It was my first week of camp. And there was so much to look forward to, but I was just so looking forward to learning how to infuse. I wanted to go home. I wanted to have that freedom. I wanted to show my parents. I was like, look, I can do this too. And it was awesome, man. I tried 7 different times. So it was my vein here, my hands, both my hands, my left one again. And then after they let me try one more time, I tried to do this one, which is my main one, as you can tell. But after I tried this one for my 7th time, I hit it, and I was able to do it. I had bandages all over me.
Lucky
dude.
number 7.
Lucky number 7, man. And then I had bandages all over me, and I was like, man, my mom's gonna be so pissed when I get home. But I mean, there were bandages, dude. They were gone by the next day. I was worried about the wrong thing. But
I'm sure your mom was proud.
Oh man,
to see that your dad too, your family.
Dude, that day we recorded a video to send back to Mexico, man. It was awesome. Like, we have family back in Mexico that know that I go through this.
Man.
So my parents were so proud. They wanted to get a video together, and so we can send back home to Mexico. So it was awesome, man. Like, that was honest. Like I mentioned, it's the biggest transition. Like, as a hemophiliac, that's when, to me, that's like when you kind of like wake up. Is when you learn how to infuse, because that's what you need to do to feel like, to be constant.
Mm-hmm.
To be constant with everyone else. That's just what you have to do.
Absolutely.
And so realizing that, understanding it, and doing it myself, and what it feels like. Okay, this is what I have to do, and what it takes, because it's not easy. No. Absolutely not. It's not. Yeah. And going to camp now as a counselor, I feel bad though, because I expect kids to do it at 7 because I did it at 7, and there's absolutely no way. Like
You
now,
set the bar, man. You set the bar for everybody.
And I feel horrible because I look at my campers and I'm like, man, come on, like not in a bad way, like no, but and I feel bad because I did it at 7, and but the kids now are like taking a little bit longer to do it, which is totally okay.
Yeah.
Because
but you're there, you're present, which is
Yeah.
important. And let me tell you guys something. You know, I've seen this man like at camp doing his thing, and let me tell you, I'm just so proud of the man he's become, man. Honestly, just seeing him day in, day out, advocating as much as possible, but like also doing this for the families and the kids, man. I'm still rooting for you, man, and it's still a privilege and honor to be able to see your story, man, unfold.
You, bro. I mean so much to me because that's like, to me, camp is all about the kids, man. And someone did that for me at one point, and I want to make sure to do that for all the kids going forward, man, because that it means everything to me. And I think the reason I'm still going to camp and making sure to provide that same experience to everyone is because there was those few people who did it for me, and it's just awesome, man. Like it's so cool to see or to be able to give back to the community like that, because they did it to me. You know, the reason that I'm doing it is because someone was there and did it for me. Oh. So I just think it's really important to be able to give that back, man. So thank you very much, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
it means a lot.
Of course, man. You already know. Now, take us to another time. This is going to be a little bit of a tougher question, I feel like, but it might not be so tough for you, but it could definitely open up some emotions here a little bit. Now, tell us about when you felt like enough is enough, like just overwhelmed because of hemophilia. Like, what was going through your mind at that time? Like, walk us through it.
It was definitely my teenage years.
Yeah.
I would get in this like rut. Like I didn't want to feel. I don't want to infuse. Why do I have to infuse when no one else has to? And it's a tough because my dad can't force me to infuse, because so it's tough. It was tough, and I went through like when I have to infuse every other day. There's times where I would push back. Obviously, this completely obviously not recommended and completely frowned upon. But like that's where I would get my rebellious time from. It's like there's a point in my teenage years where like I just didn't want to infuse. I was tired of it, and you hit that kind of roadblock, But that's when things like that's when the perspective and the people around you come into play, because obviously, and you feel it. You know what I mean? I felt it, like. My body, I was the one paying for it. Like me not taking my medicine, no one else was paying for it. Yeah. I was the one. We have our target joints, and those target joints took a beating during that time. Yeah. And so I just kind of put it like I don't want to put myself through this again. I know I don't want to infuse, but if I don't infuse, then I won't be able to do anything at all. Yeah. So then it was really just a matter of perspective and just switching that in my head, man, because. There was that small time. There was that small time in being a teenager where just like you're fed up with it. I don't want to infuse anymore. Like why? I don't see the point. And then you quickly will see the point where you can't use your target joints as much as you used to, and you're like, oh, I do need and it's hard to see that when you're taking your medication prophylactically. When you're taking it to prevent bleeds, it's gonna be hard. To notice that it's doing good, because the point of it is to not notice that anything is wrong. It's the point to keep doing it prophylactically and doing it on time. And so that's what.
And to those that don't know, can you explain a little bit about that regimen, if you don't mind?
Absolutely. So based on your hemophilia severity, is how many times you have to infuse per week, and it goes by weight too and all that stuff. But for me personally, when I was younger, I would have to infuse every other day, my 3,000 to 4,000 units. So that's like one day yes, one day no, one day yes. So like I would quickly get tired of that. And like now I'm on a way better schedule of every 4 to 5 days. So that helps 100%. That definitely helps in terms of getting me out of those ruts, because you'll get into like the things like where like, oh man, I gotta infuse. Like you'll see it as a chore, or you'll see it as like this is something I have to do, but you know what I mean, not as like, oh, this is something I want to do to better myself. I know it's hard, I know it hurts, because no one talks about that, man. Like the it's real, man. Like like missing the vein, like going through the vein. Like we feel it all, man. We feel it all, and it's tough. It really is, man. And like, and not like there's times where I miss my vein, and and it sucks, and it just gets hard. But
and what do you do in those situations?
It's I 2 different occasions. On one of them, I tried until I hit it, I think on my 2nd or 3rd time.
Yeah.
But there was a situation where my 4th time, I couldn't do it. I was already late a couple days because then I was like, I just can't hit it. I'm gonna wait till the next day. And then that next day, I still couldn't hit it. I had no idea what was going on, man. I couldn't figure it out. So I called my dad. I called my dad and I was like, hey, what are you doing? And I asked him, like, I kind of need help infusing. And he's like, I'm on my way. Like, he hasn't infused me in years, Steven, years. Like, it's been a long time. Like, I've been ever since. So when I learned to do it when I was 7, I vowed to like not have my dad do it as much as possible anymore, just because he's been doing it on my port, like for so long. And
how long did you have the port?
I had that for 9 years. So I got it removed when I was 9.
Yeah.
But I stopped using it when I was 7. So through that year from 7 to 9, it got infected from not using it, which didn't make sense to me. But then I had to get removed at the age of 9. So,
and why did you have the port?
So when you're a baby, like I mentioned, I have to get infused every other day.
Yeah.
But as a baby, like the veins are just too small. Like I would be blowing up every single vein.
Yeah.
So you have to get a port in your chest at a very young age. And I got that port, which coincidentally enough, I got the port at the exact hospital that my daughter was born.
Really?
Yeah, man. And it's crazy because we're in the delivery room and everything. And I look out and I see the texture of the building. It's that one on Banner University on 12th Street in McDowell.
Yeah.
And it's like that bubble textured building.
Yeah.
That's the building I had and I just know my mom told me like, oh, that's where you got your port at. And I'm like, oh, no way. And we're there, full circle, man. I'm there delivering my wife is delivering my daughter.
Yeah.
She did absolutely phenomenal. 10 out of 10.
How'd you do?
Oh, man.
That's the question.
The car was still with the hazards on downstairs. I was all over the place, man. And then it was a crazy time, man. I feel like I was more all over the place than she was. But man,
how you feeling now with your beautiful baby?
Oh,
how are things going now?
Man, you everything that parents say, like the rewarding stuff, like you hear it all and like you don't understand it. Like one doesn't get it until you're in it.
Yeah.
Like then that's like, the whole parenting, like people showing me pictures, endless pictures, like I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you finally kind of understand that whole parenting, that like nothing else matters but
I gotta tell you something funny. So when Lo, right, was delivering Julissa, and afterwards, right, when she was born, we're like, she wouldn't stop crying. We're like, why is she not stop crying? We were holding her. We're doing everything, right? We're like, maybe like on 30 minutes sleep or whatever the case is. And we're like, what's going on? And then the nurse comes in and is like, oh, just got to change the diaper. But to your point, you're like thinking so many things, you're all over the place. You're not really thinking in the moment. Until you're like, oh, okay, this is what's happening.
The simple diaper change, man.
Yeah.
No, I remember being delirious, man, those first couple days.
Yeah.
Like, we had to wait, that's funny, man. Like, we had to wait 24 hours for like a check or something. They had to come check her. And I was like, well, you're not taking her. So then I had to stay up 24 hours. And then I had to make sure, and yeah, it was a mission, man. But that's so funny. I remember just being straight up delirious, man. Like, I had literally something like this that just popped open. Yeah. And it didn't even pop open all the way. And I was there chilling though. It was a time, man. That was a time for sure. That is crazy. Yeah. But yeah, so that was that's just funny that hospital that I got my port at, man, that was the hospital that we gave birth to my daughter. Wow. It's crazy. But yeah, man, at 9 months, 9 months is when I got that port, and my dad used it for until I was 7, until I learned to infuse, and that's what I would use, and then that's what I would do all my stuff, and then and it's tough, man, because like my dad, he just went from being a cop to needing to administer this medication to his son. Like he wasn't like an ambulance or like a firefighter. He wasn't someone who this is like up their alley. You know what I mean? He was on the other side where he was being used to being rough. So whenever, and I guess that's what probably hurried me up to learn to infuse, because man, he would be searching for the vein. He's like, oh, I missed it. Let me try again. Oh man, my dad with the needle was tough.
Did you have a little fear of needles or no? Not so much.
So it's interesting. Like as hemophiliacs, it's like we're kind of not allowed to be, but like I can't say it's kind of like I have a kind of fear of needles because like I have to do it, so I'm not allowed to be.
Yeah, but it's totally fine.
It's just a little bit like they are scary.
Yeah,
like no, the size of them. Like personally, I don't like the ones that they do the subcutaneous ones. To me, those are scarier. Like the ones where you prick your fingers for diabetes. That to me is even like that. Like I don't know. Like it just it's
different.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. They're not for everyone, and I completely understand it. You know, I'm just forced. I just got dealt a hand where I'm not allowed to be scared of needles. Yeah. But I'm not too positive about them. You know, but I know my way around one. Fortunately.
Do you remember the time when when you had the port? Take me back to that. Like, how did you feel when your parents were getting ready to infuse? Like, how did that go?
I had mixed feelings with the port, man, because it was tough. Like I had this port, and like being in Arizona, you go swimming a lot, so like you would have to take off your shirt stuff. So like I would feel very subconscious about that because like it's weird, you know, it's different. So that's something that I kind of struggled with a lot growing up in terms of the port. I do remember a lot of times messing with it. You were not supposed to, but I would like just mess with it and like just feel it and stuff. I had my grandfather, my Tata Jose, my mom's dad. He was terrified of it, like absolutely terrified of it, and I had no idea why. But to me, it was amusing that he was scared of it. Yeah. And I would say hello to him, and I would give him a hug, and I would grab his hand, and I would put it on my port, and then he would get so slimy and freak out, and he'd be like, "Oh no, don't do that." It was so funny. I remember specifically like doing that with him, that he would just hate the way it felt. Like
shout out to the tatas, by the way, the abuelos, man.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, both of them are just absolutely phenomenal, and he's one of the key like reasons that we're here in the United States, man. My Tata Jose, like I mentioned, we were born in Mexico. Like, I have this bleeding disorder, and you know they said, oh, it's not, you know, we can't, you know, do anything here. He has to like 13 years old here. And so my grandfather, like just being, you know, my grandfather, he's just going about his time working. He's an architect based in Mexico.
Oh, nice.
And then there's a pastor in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, who wanted to design a summer beach house in Rocky Point. And so he needed an architect based in Mexico to design the project. And he hired my grandfather, Jose.
That's awesome.
And just throughout building the house with him, like he asked him, he was like, hey, like, do you have a second? He's like, yeah, what's up? He's like, I have a daughter who just had a kid. He has this bleeding disorder. And then like, this is what they told us. Like, can you pray for us? Like, we don't know what to do. We just want, you know, some extra prayers. And that's when the pastor had told my grandfather, Jose, he's like, tell your family to come to Phoenix. I have an extra house behind our church that they can stay in and try to figure out whatever they got to figure it out. And then that's when we got our foothold here in the United States, man. Like that's awesome. That's when we were able to come over here, and we lived in that house, man, in South Phoenix for 17 years rent free, man.
Wow.
17 years.
What a blessing.
Like blessings on blessings on blessings, man. Like one can't even like put into words how that is even a thing here. Like it's unheard of. Like that doesn't happen. And for us to get that after my parents got told that I only lived till 13 years old. And
look at you now.
Man, 26.
Look at you now.
26. I appreciate you, man. 26, man. And it's Absolutely. Just it's crazy, man. And then just all like, and then getting over here to the United States, that was just part one. And you know, the pastor told my dad, he's like, hey, you grow this Spanish service, you work as a pastor for the church, and you continue this, and you guys can stay there rent free. Just figure out just be the pastor here. Wow. And my dad still pastors to this day. He's in a rotation with 4 other pastors at a church, and every Sunday that I get, he preaches this Sunday, which I'm gonna be there, and it's just awesome seeing him every time I get.
Shout out to Pastor Arturo. Yeah. Un abrazo fuerte.
Absolutely, I appreciate that, man. Yeah. So and so, it's just mind blowing that like my Tata Jose would that put us in that, like, it's just crazy, man. Our whole like journey with hemophilia.
That's
man,
amazing, man.
It really is mind blowing. And just to get back to what we were talking about, the port, I would get my grandfather and I would get him to like touch it, and he would just like he would get so uncomfortable, and it would be so funny to me. But yeah, man, it would hurt. I remember there were some numbing creams that would help, but it was tough. It was tough using the port, and just the bully aspect of it, man, because kids don't know. Like,
No, they
like
don't.
they don't know. They would be like, "Oh, is that a third nipple?" Like, "Oh, Juan has a third nipple, guys." Like, it's a whole thing. So like,
How was that? How was school and everything? With
I
that?
mean,
were you like for friends and stuff? Were you disclosing?
yeah.
Like,
So
how did that go?
it's like, so my dad working at the church. That church had a private school. So I had a private school and I went to that private school from kindergarten till 7th grade. So I had the same 5 friends, Steven, from kindergarten till 7th grade.
Wow.
Logan, Susanna, Holly, Jordan, and Christina. All 5 of them. Like,
Shout out to the friends.
Shout out to the 5 friends.
Hey,
man.
there you go.
And I knew them from kindergarten till 7th grade, man, and they knew what I had, and I felt comfortable with them. You know what I mean? But when I had to make that transition to a public school, that was completely different. That was scary for me, man, because at that private school, I had one teacher for all of my subjects, all of them.
Wow.
One teacher. We stayed in one classroom. We would leave for lunch and leave for recess and come back. It was like
All the way till 7th grade?
yeah, all the way till 7th grade, man. So
wow.
like when like my parents had really good like my dad, being the pastor of that church, got me a lot of good opportunities. You know what I mean? And having a kid with hemophilia, I mean, it was perfect for them. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I would love to put them in a private school. That's perfect. Like, we could trust that there's a lot less kids, a lot less danger. So like, it just made sense. But when my brother went to that public school, my parents loved it. So then they're like, oh, we think you're ready. And so then that's when I made that transition. But then I went from having those same 5 kids in my grade, like all from kindergarten to 7th, I had 30 kids per class, and I had a teacher per subject, and like everything was completed. Then I had a school nurse who I had to go introduce myself to, and then I had to teach her about hemophilia. She didn't know anything about hemophilia.
I was just gonna ask you, how'd that go?
It was frightening, man. If I needed help, I didn't think I could go to her because I was teaching her.
And how old were you then?
But
Dude,
11, so 8th grade, 11, 12 years old.
11, 12 years old. My man was advocating for himself.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's when I had that transition. Yeah, I think that's from 7th to 8th grade. I think you're like 11 to 12. But yeah, I had to teach my nurse, and I had to like my classmates. And then, like you said, like, who do you choose to like let know? Like, how do you go about that? Like, and it's just you would like, it's a process of elimination. Like, they're all friends. Who's your best friend, and who's your closest friends to who you can like trustfully let them know. And then slowly but surely, the whole school, would start to know, and they're like, oh, this is what he has and stuff like that. But it was just about, first you got to start with that close group of friends, and then slowly it would like kind of open up to the whole school, but not like in a gossip way, just like, just people talking about it in an advocating way of like, oh, this is what he has. If anything were to happen, like, just be careful. That's what he has. Like, so it was just in that aspect where that I had to, and then tell my every teacher I had one teacher per subject. So I had to tell all these different teachers about what I had in case anything were happened in the classroom.
Yeah.
So definitely at a young age, I had to advocate, kind of take that to the school. But what's cool, man, I know you recently had legislative days, and it's been so hard to get back to legislative days because of work, man. I really want to get back there.
Let me tell you. Let me give a quick shout out to him too. I got to do it, Pablo. Like, we've been to a few trips together, right, to DC and different things, and this guy, man, he knows how to advocate, and he stands up and he shares his story, and he does an amazing job just describing to these congressmen, congresswomen that might not be the most wanting to talk to, but you're still giving them the mission and letting them know what's going on, and I want to give you a shout out for that, man.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot. Thank you. Because I definitely want to, I want to be able to talk for those who can, man. And because public speaking is a real fear for people, and for people that can't do that, I want to be able to do that for them. And I definitely always take that into consideration, and I appreciate that, man. Thank you. And it's fun to me. I think it's super cool to be able to have that opportunity to go and talk to these legislators. And another full circle moment for you, brother. One of my legislative days when I was 12, 13 years old, I go to the Capitol and I go and I have a meeting with my representative from my area. I'm her constituent. And it's a one-on-one meeting. It's just me and her. And I'm talking to her, I give her my whole story. And this is one that I actually go back the next year and I run into her again and I get to see her again. And I tell I tell her what I'm going through that year, what I went through that year and stuff like that. And so I met this woman twice and I thought that was so cool that I got to see her twice. And then fast forward, me and my wife, we're getting married. Was it 2023? We get married in the court. And if you don't know, you go to the court, you line up with all the other couples, and then there's someone behind the window who's assigning everyone a judge. And we're in line, we get assigned a judge. And I see our judge, we got Judge Rios. And then I was like, oh, Judge Rios, that sounds so familiar. And we're in there, we're waiting for our turn. And I was like, I got to see her to see if this is actually her. And then we go in, we walk in, and I see the plate. It said Rebecca Rios. And I was like, Rebecca Rios is the exact same one that I've met years ago.
No
I was like,
way.
But it can't be the same one.
Yeah.
And I look at her and I'm like, wow, it really is the exact same Rebecca Rios that I met with in a meeting one-on-one to do like legislative days. Like she was the one that married me and my wife.
Wow.
Dude. Like, I kid you not, like,
that's crazy.
I by any means didn't have like any cold feet or anything like that. I never felt like, oh, I don't know if I should be doing this. You know how people are like in movies. But like when I saw that it was Rebecca Rios, man, like I just knew that I was in the right place at the right time.
It was
like,
meant to be.
Absolutely, man. It really was. Like, what are the odds, man? Like the same person that I was advocating for my community 10 plus years ago is the person who's going to marry me and my wife. And I got to share a moment with her. She remembered us, man. She remembered our community. She wanted to take a picture with me and my wife on her personal phone.
That's awesome.
She said, do you guys mind if I take a picture with you guys on my personal phone? And they're in the court, man. And then it was awesome, man. At first, I was a little worried because then when we walked in and everything, the judge recognized me. So I thought my lady's family were gonna be like, "Why does a judge recognize you? Like, what, have you been here before?" So I was a little worried, but no. But my lady's family was like, oh, "Of course, she knows Pablo." but it was a really cool. It was a cool moment, man.
Wait, does that happen to you a lot? I feel like you go to stores and be like, "Hey, is that Pablo?" Of course, they know Pablo.
Yeah,
does that happen?
It happens frequently.
Oh my goodness,
more often than not.
That's funny.
But it's cool, man. I love running into people.
That's awesome.
Man.
That's awesome. Man.
I enjoy human interaction, man. I think that it's crucial for I think just interactions with 100%. Other people, man. It's crucial, man. So I love it all. I love it all.
Absolutely. So let me ask you then. So has having hemophilia given you like a perspective on life that you wouldn't have had before?
Absolutely, man. I mean, I think it just goes back to, I mean, me, myself, hemophilia, like me and my family wouldn't be in the US if it wasn't for it. Like we would be in Mexico and life would be completely different. Like, I don't even know if I would be speaking English. Like I would have a Spanish accent. Like who knows what that's like. So it's a completely different like world. And I'm just so thankful, man. I'm so blessed. I'm so appreciative of just all the opportunities that have been presented to me, man. Like my family left home, you know, and that's something I always carry with me. You know, I always make sure to, like, not like in a sense of trying to pay them back, but always trying to put our best foot forward, just knowing that, you know, I'm representing them, you know, and this is our journey, not just, you know, me. It's not just me sitting up here. To me, my parents, my family, my wife, my daughter. So
100%, absolutely, brother.
Yeah, man. So
I love that.
Man. I really do believe that. So, like it goes back to that whole perspective, man. Like being born with it, I could have. It's easy to be upset with the world, man. It's easy to take it out on the world. It really is, man. I think this side is harder to like to be a positive person, man, and to get the best outlook of it. Because yeah, man, we could have, you know, been in a completely different situation, but because of the hemophilia, because of this blessing, like we're here today, like, and we're here having this discussion, like, absolutely. And I'm part of this community, man. This community is everything to me. And because of the hemophilia, man, like I've been able to travel the country. I've been able to do so many things that I don't think I would have been able to do back in Mexico. Yeah. Like, man, like I got to visit the Patriots like stadium. I went to Gillette Stadium, like I went on a business trip.
I remember you told me about that. I was like, yeah, there you go. I went
on a business trip through my hemophilia to Rhode Island. I rented a car. I drove to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. 30-minute drive, man. Like it's hard, you know, to be, how could you be upset with the world when like I was born with this disorder? Yeah, that sucks. But like, look at where I'm at today, man. I think it's just about perspective and attitude, man. Like I mentioned before, like I think everyone in the hemophilia community, I feel like every single one of us, man, are truly, truly special. And we just all have to view it that way. And we just all have to have that perspective, man. And like together, man, these like the events, the community that we've created, man, it's so, so awesome. And to you, man, I wanted to give props to you, man, because from how I met you back from when you first came in with your son, man, and now to the not owner of the company, but you're head of the organization, man. I think that speaks volumes, man.
Thank you,
that speaks volumes, and I think you deserve it 1,000%.
Thank you.
And I think it just shows, man, that this community, it means everything. And like you came in, you know, from the very bottom, a new family, man, a new family, not knowing anything. We've been here for 25 years.
Yeah.
You came in more fresh than that, and where you are today, man, it's absolutely awesome, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you for that. And similar to what you said, you know, it's not just me sitting here, it's the community. I feel like everyone's with me on this couch as we're talking, right? We're all here and we all have a voice. And this is the best voice we can do, especially towards Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month. But even after that, continue to know that you have a voice and you can share your story. And it only helps grow the awareness and then spread the cause, you know, as much as possible. Now, if you could go back and give your younger self some advice, what would it be? What would you tell them?
It's a great question. I love this question because I guess there's just two things that I would really nail on the head and like kind of just nail home, like you just do this. And I'm pretty sure life after would be better. Like one, I know we get told by already like be on time with your schedule, but it's so, so crucial, like from a young age to be on time with your schedule. Yeah. Like that rebellious year that I had when I was a teen, I do think that affects me now as an adult. Like I do think that my target joints are a little bit more worn out because of that. So like, I really do, like, I know we hear that all the time, but it's so, so crucial to stay on top of your schedule. And if you do get an extra bleed, like take that extra medication, talk to your provider, do what you have to do. But I think it's so, so crucial to be on top of your scheduling, man, 100%. And I would reassure that to myself, and I would hope coming from me that I would listen, but who knows since it's me. Yeah. But the other thing, man, is being ambidextrous in more aspects than one. Now, let me elaborate a little bit. Yeah. I'm ambidextrous when it comes to infusing. I can infuse with both of my hands, and I'm grateful for that. But now I'm talking about eating. I'm talking about kicking. I'm talking about throwing a football. Like, I'm talking about from a very young age. Like, I want to, like, I'm trying to put it onto every hemophiliac, bro. Like, this is something that I want to get into camp. I want to get this into, like, all of our programs. Yeah. Like, I want to get these young hemophiliacs to be ambidextrous from, a young age.
That's huge. By the way, I never heard of this before, and I'm glad you're mentioning this because I didn't know. I didn't know you threw both, you catch both, all that.
No, just infusing. Infusing. So just when I infuse, I'm ambidextrous. But I
was thinking sports.
Yeah, I know. I wish but like, for example, like eating or like, or different things where like I like it's kind of hard because like so just to give you the perspective. My right elbow is my target joint. Yeah. And so obviously it's a lot different than my left elbow. So from a young age, if I were to just know that this was my target joint, if I were to like, hey bro, start using your left. Start using your left more. Better. Like I would just tell myself, start using your left more. Start kicking with your other foot. Like, because my left ankle and my right elbow are my target joints. Those are my two, and it's a little lopsided. So like, if I were to just go back and tell myself from a young age, it'd be like, stop using your dominant stuff. Switch now. Like I would be like, that would be so like, it would make my life easier because I'm not left-handed. Yeah. I'm not. And I'm 20. It's a lot harder now, 26 years old, to switch everything. Like eat. And it's hard for me, like to try grabbing a fork with your left hand. Like it's different. And it's just, and then like, and I work from home and even working on a computer with the mouse. Like, and my right is my target joint, sometimes like I just went through a move and I overused my target joint. And so I had a couple days where it was just tough to use my right arm. So like, that's where I would really do. Like, I think that's super important, and I don't think it's talked about enough. Like anywhere, like and on anything or anything. Like,
guess what? We're talking about it now.
Heck yeah, man! I really do think pushing that to our younger generation would be really helpful. Obviously, with the whole advancements, and hopefully they don't deal with the target joints as much as that. You know, the older generations.
But it's a good point. It's a great point, actually.
Yeah,
so I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, that's what I would tell myself.
And to tie it into that, like, what advice would you give like a new family with a kid that has a rare blood condition? Like, what advice would you give them? Parents specifically. For their kids.
Yeah, I think that a good thing to tell parents would be is don't be scared, and like don't stop them from doing a lot of things. I know it might be easier to prevent them from getting hurt than from allowing them. Like, I don't want to prevent my daughter from doing things. I would rather much her do something and then me be there for her afterwards.
Yeah.
Than just prevent her from doing something. So I know, obviously there's things we can and can't do, like for me, I can't do tackle football and stuff like that. And it's kind of hard when that's what I had. My hardest battle growing up was when I got told, like, you can't play like sports. You can't. Like that was my hardest thing. So what I urge to parents is don't tell your kids no, just try to find a different outlet. For myself, I mean, I had my brothers, and that's what they helped me with the sport talk. But then when it came to like soccer, I just and not being from here, I'm a DACA student and having hemophilia, I couldn't play soccer and I couldn't work like all of my peers. So I became a soccer referee, and I was able to make some extra cash while still being close to the game.
That's awesome.
And that allowed me to get still my love for the game involved and still make some extra cash. And it's tough, like being an immigrant, being a hemophiliac, like there was all these different battles that I had to like kind of deal with. But I think that it's just really important to support and be there for them after something that doesn't necessarily go according to plan, than to just not let them and just isolate them and be too overprotective. I think it's important to let them do it as much as you can do comfortably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And then so that it sounds like to a point that your brothers kind of helped you through it too.
Absolutely.
Shout out to the brothers.
Yeah, absolutely, man. My brothers are everything, man. But it would be mostly that, man. Make just also like infusing, like when someone has to infuse, like make it something to where like, oh, what are we gonna watch on YouTube while you infuse, like the series or something that you guys are doing while you infuse, or
make it more personal.
Yeah, make it more personal, because that's a time that is like that we kind of are alone a lot. Like it's when we have to infuse or when we're dealing with those things. So, but yeah, and then just also look out with the like the be carefuls.
Yeah.
Like ooh, don't do that. Like so much of that it can be a lot for kids. So I think letting them do certain things, and then seeing like if something happens, be like, oh, see, that's why we don't do that, because you might get hurt if they got hurt afterwards. But like being very like overprotective it could be a bad thing. But just kind of being that like there, like I said, like I'll be there to pick you up and heal you and help you out afterwards. But like
let them experience
it. I think very important to learn because like no one wants to get told no, and then you're gonna create a bad relationship in your head with the bleeding disorder because you're getting told no. Like
associate the no to that.
Yeah, exactly. So there's just it's just finding the right balance of learning to divert the nose into like something else. So yeah, and
being creative.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I know they want to play sports. Maybe we can't play them, but we can go watch them. Let's go to a game, and maybe we can get more involved and stuff. So
find alternate ways to make it relatable to what they want to do. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So to close things out too, what's one thing you want everyone to understand about hemophilia and want people to take away from our conversation today?
That hemophilia is not the end of the world, man. It's not like that means that we're not able to do anything at all. As long as we're on our prophylactic regimen and we're on track where we're supposed to be, we able to do whatever we want. And that's what people need to understand. Like if you're on the right medication and you have that peace of mind, like you're gonna feel confident, you're gonna feel comfortable, and you're gonna be able to do the things that you want. So I think that, yeah, hemophilia just has that bad connotation of just being, that you bleed in that. I really do hate the paper cut thing. Like, I hate when people bring that up. Like, oh, so if you get a paper cut, that'll be, bad news. Like, no, that's not what that means. So just like kind of the whole connotation of that, like if we just get a small cut, that we're done for, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of questions that lead up to that. So have you not infused in the last 2 months? Like that would entail you being done for in a situation. But no, I'm on track with my like we're all like everyone is on the same like level of factor right now. So which is that's what, it's not, all bad, that we still have opportunities to do the things that we want.
Absolutely. No, great having you, my man. Again, Pablo, my man. Appreciate you for coming out today. And, there's a lot of things that happen in the background. So I do want to give a huge shout out to families, to friends, to supporters. Ayo, it's Nene. Got to give you a shout out too. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Dakari and his team, man, to be able to do it back in everything in the background, and just everyone that's listening today. We're continuing to spread awareness, especially for this month, Bleeding Disorders Awareness Month. But let's continue to have these conversations. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, comment, please like, share, subscribe, and make sure you stay connected with us, everything that we're doing as well. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, my man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, guys.